recap what happened. Um, you were tracking down hunter activity. You had narrowed it down to a warehouse. Um, you had gone in, and there was three vampires that seemed to have been burnt in a cage when the sun was above them. And you saw remote cameras around the place that weren't connected with the other cameras. Then you saw a couple storage containers, and um, there was some commotion coming from two of the storage containers. Upon Xavier knocking on them for a shave and a haircut, they responded in kind. So you're like, well, they're intelligent. So you unlocked those two, and there were two of the pure that you had met a couple acts ago. One was the alpha, and one was one of the pack mates. You released them from their silver bonds, and um, something set off some security in there where uh, some chemical similar to something like silver to burn uh, the werewolves and some sort of acid which also affected you guys started spraying down on you guys. So you guys decided to get out of there. And upon leaving, you guys noticed a couple of drones coming, and they were chasing after the werewolves. So you guys decided to follow them, see what was going on. Exchange of gunfire from the drones and fire from the drones. The Pure seemed to use the fire to strike back at them, the drones, and they took a lot of damage, but they took the drones out and managed to get away. Xavier was able to uh, turn their aggravated to lethal, which was really beneficial to them. So they were able to get out of there without further issue. Um, you guys discovered that the cafe that Xavier had been dropping some hints at is a front for a hunters organization. We went back there and wanted to let them know that you guys know that they're there. Um, a thing of shenanigans where Xavier knocked some coffee over to have one of the guys get burnt so that he could have the room to himself and do some looking up, and Oz uh, dramatic failure resulting in a college student's art supplies blowing up on them, and someone showing up when you were covered in this invisible creature was covered in these ink spots. He decided to drop his stuff and just say, "Nope, I'm out of here." But Oz wasn't having any of that, and he tried to remove his, or yeah, he tried to remove his soul from his body for a few. He did, but Paradox ensued and tried to do it to Oz also, but Oz was strong enough to. I think he was strong enough to hold it off.
Yeah, well, actually, I think it was more like it lasted less time for me than it did for him.
Ah, I gotcha.
Yeah, because that one was based on like depending on how many successes I got was how long I'd stay there, and based on the paradox you rolled, I got like one turn and he got like three.
Gotcha. Uh, and when he came back from that, he was in a state of shock, and I think you left. Um, Xavier heard the ruckus, went to find out what was going on, saw this guy. He didn't want him messing up with his plans, so he shoved him in a closet and said, "Hey, stay in there." Once Xavier said, put a note down, we know, that set a whole barrel of things going. She got paranoid and called her boss, you know, and I think then you guys left. Xavier found out that uh, the company that he was uh, checking into was a lot of deep cover fakes. Someone spent a lot of money and a lot of time to make these covers. Um, Oz was mentoring his new uh, assistant, and uh, I think Henry asked you to look a little bit more into uh, the killings, find out what was linking them together. I think.
Yep. He wanted to know specifically uh, who and what was actually responsible for the 50 bodies being killed. Because we basically thought psychic vampire, but um, we didn't have enough from that to like actually definitively say that's who it was. I got enough glimpses to kind of basically suspect him, but um, he asked us basically because the psychic vampires were involved that we now need to be a little bit more interested in them.
And I believe we left off on a Monday at 8 p.m.
Yeah, we were just leaving to go to the club. That's what my last note says anyway.
There you go.
Oh yeah, there was also the whole debacle of me thinking that the guy was the bouncer when in fact it was the blonde-haired guy.
Yeah, so a lot of the uh, initial things made it look a lot like the bouncer, um, but with your further investigation and all the others, it was not the same. It was a smaller guy than the bouncer, which was doing all these other killings.
Well, the bouncer, at least in the beginning, seemed a little bit better, like he's been doing this longer, perhaps. And so that was also a good clue, because at least the first kills seemed very amateurish. Someone who's never done this before, slash, um, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah, it is definitely the signs of someone new to the supernatural and not understanding their abilities. You always play a game of vampire, but you're a newborn fledgling, but you know all your powers to a T. Well, this newborn does not. They might now, but not when they first started.
right.
Anything you want to add into that, or are you all set heading to the club?
I think I'm pretty much all set at this point.
as you roll up on the club, you see two bouncers outside. You know, checking checking everyone. Uh, One guy you remember is really big. This will work. Don't want to mess with it, but I don't have the image pop out. So let's see. The one on the left is Billy. He's the bigger guy. Uh, and I don't think you ever got the other guy's name. But they're checking everyone as you come into the as you go up to the club.
I guess we'll get online to the club.
Uh, as you're getting closer, there's a group of younger people getting a little rambunctious. As they get up to the front, they get escorted out because they are not of age. As you see, Billy like grabs two on each arm and just brings them over to the side and says, "Go play pool or something." And you guys get to the front, and then there's asking, "Are you here for normal activities, or are you looking for uh, private private rooms?" There's a line for those.
Normal activities.
All right, head on in, gentlemen. Have fun.
Thank you.
As you head in, it's probably about 9 o'clock now. There's people uh, all over the place, loud, music's pretty loud. There's two people at the bar waiting on people. There is three waitresses walking around. And there's a couple people up on stage.
Right, so who's Skype looking for?
Kind of skinny blonde guy.
Did you want to roll a perception or an investigation? Um, Both are viable. I just you get different information with different things.
Mine would probably be perception.
Me too. I just upgraded my trained observer, so I have 8 again on this.
One second.
Again, it's pretty cool. It turns your 6 pool into 8 pool.
That is wits perception.
Wits
Remember
composure.
right? Wits composure. Right. 1 second.
You can also click on the eye.
Yeah, I just don't get to see the roll if I click the eye.
Apparently, it hides it. I didn't realize. So with 2 and a 1. At this time, you do not see any skinny male blondes. Um, the two, other than the 2 bouncers, everyone that is working in here is female. The customers are about a 75-25, 75% male, 25% female. But as you survey the group right now, you do not see uh, someone who matches or is close to your person.
Gotcha. Mm. I guess I'll just kind of like continue to walk through the club, occasionally trying to take in more of the club, see if I can just find this person I'm looking for. Maybe pay particular attention to people who appear to be avoiding trying to get attention. Like, how some guys who, I mean, if he's still newer, he might show or exhibit behaviors like skittishness or like shifty behavior that he's getting too close. He's getting too close to somebody, or like somebody starts having a headache that's visible, things like that.
Okay. Do you have anything in I think it's empathy?
Empathy? No, not really. I have like a 1.
You have a 1 in empathy?
That's all I have.
It's still going to be a
I'm a
dice roll.
mortician.
It's not going to be a negative like cuz you don't have any investigation, right?
Correct. I have no investigation.
So uh intelligence is what you know, wits is what you see. So I would say a wits empathy. And what is that total dice pool?
4.
I do that in extended and roll it 4 times. And this will be you examining the crowd and trying to see for those specific signs. Um, so this is going to take probably like a half hour roll as you're surveying the things. Xavier, is there anything you were wanted to be up to while Oz is doing this?
Ah, trying to think of a way to ask about someone I don't know. Do I see where the private rooms they talked about are?
There would be like in the back corner. You see another female standing next to like a velvet rope that um, people come up to her, and it looks like she takes money, and then she opens the rope, and they go out back, and then she puts the rope back.
Uh, sorry. I'm gonna get a table someplace where I can observe the people going in and out of there. Just sort of keep watch.
Okay. And you're just gonna. Did you want to use a skill to do that, or were you just gonna use perception and watch them as they go?
Uh, I think I'll just use perception.
If you want to roll that 4 times while Oz is doing his thing. That was funny because it was a delayed reaction. Like the first one came out and the next 3 waited until they were all done rolling. As you're watching Wallace is doing his things, are you looking for a skinny blonde?
Yeah, specifically yes, but also anyone else who catches my eye.
That's funny. I just have a generic picture for him. As probably about an hour and a half in, you see an individual. Uh, you see someone that you remember, Greg Trenton, going up to the VIP. And Greg was that a vampire's go man, or he's the one that called you about the blood in the fridge.
He just went in.
He would be going up to the VIP, so if you wanted to catch him before, you could.
Yes, I would try to speak with him.
You take
Oh,
him by
great.
surprise. He's oh oh he puts his hand out to shake. Yes, thank you for a great job. I see you have good taste in clubs too.
Yes, we're actually on another job right now, looking for.
Do I need to leave?
No, I don't think you're in the danger, but
That's
there's
good.
someone
That's good.
who's been a psychic vampire has apparently been feeding from this club. We suspect a skinny blonde man. Ringing any bells?
I mean, I know a lot of skinny blondes and they're all whacked out. Um, but I'm uninclined to be able to repeat the name which you said. But the first part, psychic, I've never heard. Um, if you need to talk about this, I mean, I could. Oh, he says, "Come with me," and he goes up. He goes, "Hi, sir. I need to talk to my associate here." And he pulls out 300 bucks. We want to be in a quiet room, and then he gives her another 100 and says, and after our talk, say a half hour, um, you can send someone in. And he looks back at you and says, "Does that work for you?"
Sure, yeah.
She'll take the money, jot something down, um, gives you a room key. Um, Pretty much what she's doing is she's marking you guys. The room 4 is occupied. She'll open the thing. You guys go through. When you get into the room, see he looks around. He goes, I don't know anything about a psychic vampire. I mean, I know vampires and but is that like a new clan up and running, or
Uh, I know we researched this, but
they are not a
it's like a
clan?
mutation.
Yeah, they're yeah are they're not tied to like a normal vampire. Um, because I'm trying to. Yeah, when you guys did your research, there wasn't any. They don't have clans. They don't have disciplines and stuff like that. They're not. Um, oh, and you also know that they are daywalkers. That they don't have to be out at night.
Are they
Uh,
even vampires specifically, or are they just something
They are called
similar to a
psychic
vampire?
vampires, and they drain the ethereum out of people.
Okay, yeah. Uh, I'll do my best to explain what this thing is,
Were you saying something, Jet?
and that
I was just gonna add the other thing we discovered when you and I were doing research is that, or maybe it was you and Grumpy, but I remember overhearing this is basically 9 times out of 10 the fledglings die because it's a difficult process to get used to. It really depends on your stat allocation. I remember if you have a very low intelligence, this is a very difficult thing to be.
Out of character, in order to feed, it's an intelligence occult roll versus
And
something.
if I remember right, he rolled like a 1 or 2 for his intelligence. Yeah, I remember he got to be the butt of the joke for a while.
Yeah, that was the guy you saw come back and try and bash people and try and do something because he didn't know how to get the fear out of people. So you download this. Oh, that's. I mean, I've come here to get donations, but I've not uh, I pay. It's all on the up and up.
that's fine. That's fine. Whoever this is, they've been leaving bodies piling up, and that's not good for any. So,
What? How? How many?
how many do we know of? Confirmed kills?
Uh, 50.
That's
probably
confirmed to be this guy.
once Jet got done with all his things and he did a really good roll, he recognized the clothing from the recent kills to these older, like the 50 sacrificial ones, was wearing the same type of clothes as the newer one was, and had the same build. So uh, there was 50 there, plus at least another 18, and that's ones that Oz knows that went to his morgue, and some got bypassed. He just recently found out about some other ones that got bypassed, so there might be a few more.
I say
Yeah. So
at least 60 that we know of.
And they're all tied to this one individual, because
Uh,
there's been people um, that have been paying for this, because I know some vampires have gone missing and some have been tried for leaving bodies behind.
Apparently, these bodies were found in a local dump, been buried there for a while.
And you're saying that he uses this place as a hunting ground?
We know he definitely has recently. Don't know if
Do you,
it's continuous.
do you have any description of him?
All we know for sure is skinny blonde man.
Did you ask any of the ladies?
Uh, kind of hard to bring up a search of. I mean, I'm not a cop. I can't ask about serial killer.
He opens his wallet and he pulls out $200 bills. He says, "I'm not a cop either, and I get a lot of information."
Yeah, maybe I can.
wait, you said, hang on, I did miss something. I'm now going back through my notes. So you said the blonde guy links back to the guy in all black clothes.
Yes,
Okay, so then I can add a little bit to your description. He's blonde, under 6 foot, medium build.
because when you got that really good roll, you were able to link um, the expensive clothes that you saw the ritualist killer wearing was the same clothes that
Yeah,
the blonde guy was wearing when you, from your the recent kills, not the bones, but I say recent kills, but they happened in the beginning, back in
yeah,
Act
I understand
Five.
what you mean. Recent for the setting, not recent for us.
Yeah, not recent for the bodies.
Yeah, okay, so the description is blonde, under 6 foot, medium build, wears all black clothes, carries to a normal person, a fancy kind of looking dagger. To those who actually have magic, it's ruined, as in, like spell work ruined.
Oh, did I
And
give you the name brand of those?
you didn't give me a brand name. You told me it is a high end brand. So I have the hat and gloves were all high end brand. But I don't think you actually gave me a name at the time. I think you were still trying to think up of a name for it.
Black Spire Leatherworks. Okay.
Well, I would tell him the new information, the full information.
Understood.
And I'll say, all right, thanks. I'll try asking around.
Good luck. Uh, and he'll hand you the 200 the two $100 bills. So it'd be like equivalent of a two dot resource. And he'll be like, if you you find out who's responsible for all these killings, um, can you let me know?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Xavier. Thank you.
And I'll head back out.
As you leave, the girl Sarah opens the thing for you. Says, "Have a good night." And
Uh,
as I will cut over to Oz as you were doing that. Um, Oz, you would see one of the dancers uh, as she's dancing around like one of the tables. One of the guys gets a little uh, rowdy, and he reaches up, and she waves her finger and says, "No, no, no," and she touches him, and he kind of like sits back down, and as he sits down, he kind of like wipes his nose, and you notice it's bleeding. He's bleeding from the nose.
Oh, that just confirms what Grumpy and I suspected a while ago. We're fairly certain that this, or we were fairly certain that the Southern Comfort is like a mine vampire nest. But that's the only thing of note I noticed while walking around for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's the only thing that like no one else like gets a headache all of a sudden, or you know, nothing unusual except for that one incident right there.
some days I wish I had gone into the life tree. Left the life of forces behind and gone to life instead. That would make this so much easier right now.
Well, Forces has helped you had your Force Punch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But life has a specific spell that lets me just identify every creature in the vicinity. It tells you like it's a vampire, it's a werewolf, it's a human, things like that. And it's a fairly low level spell.
Gotcha. Identify
It can be
creatures.
it can be resisted, but it's pretty cool. Especially if I'm trying to find a mind vampire, you know. But like you said, the forces actually come in really handy with the force punch and stuff. So, um,
And I would say, uh, if you wanted to, you just hey, who's that girl that's dancing? That would be Sapphire,
all right, updating my notes on Sapphire to let her to use a mind vampire.
and that's her pitch. That's what she looks like.
I don't see anything.
I don't
Is the
either.
screen black?
No, just don't see
Gray.
anything.
It's gray.
I just see a gray grid.
Son of a.
Yeah, same.
Was Sapphire one of the ones that the bouncer recommended for the bachelor party?
Yep, Ruby and Sapphire, and then if we wanted the best bartender, that was River. Once again, that was recommended to us by a mind vampire. This is only solidifying, at least in
Did
Oz's
that
mind.
change
This is
anything?
this is a no, at least not for me.
How about now? Did that put a light on there?
Nope.
It's not black. It's like there's no map.
Yeah.
Gray grid. Well, there's a light gray cube square around middle and a darker gray around it.
All right. Not the same club, but can you see on this one? I'm gonna
No, it's
guess
the
no,
exact same.
but you can see on this one.
Loading slowly.
Yes.
Nope. This is just solid gray, not even a grid.
All right. This is the normal loading screen.
And that was working earlier.
It was, yeah.
Motherfucker, did you guys get booted?
Not that I can see.
Uh, you're not connected yet on the names.
Oh, weird. It still shows me it's connected on my end, but okay, let me refresh.
Sapphire, I think goth with like light blue hair. While he is, and you still just see gray on yours, right? Gray.
Yeah. Oh, now I see a grid.
You see the world of darkness.
No, I just see the grid.
So it's just loading slowly.
I think so, yeah.
And now I can't get into your server at all. Let me see if it's just a browser problem.
Mine still says the internet's open.
It might be a browser problem. Nope, I can't get your game now. Let me try throwing it in like Google Chrome instead. Because it's weird. I was perfectly fine joining you before.
Well, do we want me to shut down and test? Try and restart.
Yeah, because it won't let me connect with any browser now.
Possibly kicking you out, Gray. Logging back in. Can you guys connect?
Yep. I saw.
That is so weird.
And it's running better again. Okay. I don't know what I did differently, but alright.
Ah, there's the club.
Yeah,
That makes
yeah,
more sense.
yeah. It's not this giant gray blob. So you get that information, and then Xavier, you were coming out of the thing, and you were going to talk to Sarah.
Oh, right. The woman who was
The velvet thing.
letting people in.
Yep.
I'll say, I was wondering if you could help me find someone, and I'll give them the description. Medium build, under 6 feet, blonde hair, fancy clothes, and I'll flash the 200 I was given.
she will reach for the 200 and say that sounds familiar.
I'll I'll pull back slightly. Familiar?
Um, yeah, there used to be this skinny blonde guy who used to come here and flash all his money around, thinking thinking that's all he needed. But he was a real asshole.
You guys been around lately?
I haven't seen him in about a month, and she will reach for the money and says, "But uh, River, the bartender can give you his name."
I'll give her the money. Say, thank you.
She puts the money away. Says, "No, thank you. Uh, just uh, just tell River Sarah uh, said tell you about the skinny blonde rich guy from a month ago."
Is there an insight kind of roll?
Yes, there is empathy.
So what would I roll to try and read for
You
empathy and what?
you would roll empathy, and she's rolling either persuasion or subterfuge. Oh, I see what you mean. Sorry.
Yep.
Uh, I would say it would be your composure out of your social stat. Try and feel that out.
All right.
You don't sense anything odd in her tone or anything,
All right. I'll head
or
over
her body
to
language.
I'll head over to River.
I'd say as you're heading over the river, you have to pass by Oz to get there.
Have you learned anything?
Well, I've only confirmed that this is a den for mind vampires, as I will nod in Sapphire's direction. That one is definitely a mind vampire.
Is Sapphire the only one on stage right now?
No, there is three others with her.
I have a new embed that might be useful. Nah, it's not going to work in this circumstance.
Okay.
Well, I was told that bartender River can give us the name of our mysterious blonde man.
Good to know.
So I will continue up to the bar and ask River if Sarah said
So when you
uh,
roll a d10 and odd or even.
I will say even.
You got a 4. So you actually pick the correct bartender. You go up to River. And sorry, I cut you off.
Say, excuse me. Uh, Sarah said you could give me the name of a blonde man, a rich, rude man who was here about a month ago.
She did now, huh? Um, Blonde, rich. Well, you get a lot of those. About a month ago, there was 3 that we had issues with. It was a Henry, Greg, and a George.
Uh,
You got anything
okay,
more details?
under 6 feet, medium build,
That gets rid of
might have been
George.
carrying a knife. Uh,
That's between Henry and Greg now.
I think he likes to wear the brand Black Spire Leatherworks a lot.
You see her demeanor change. She was happy and everything, and she gets this like sour look across. That would be Greg Davidson. He's he got a little too personal. A couple different occasions. Billy had to toss him out. I believe 3 times. The third time was his final strike. We haven't seen him since the owner, Brooke, put a restraining order on him. If you need more information, she would be the person to talk to.
I heard this guy is rough to be around. Really sucks the life out of you, you know?
If you guys want to roll a perception. Uh, she hides it from Xavier, but Oz, you when Xavier says that, she's like, son of a bitch.
Well, I didn't see anything, so I will say thank you for the information, and I'll take my leave.
Is there an issue that we should be aware of with Greg that makes you feel uncomfortable with that statement?
Yeah, I think you need to talk to the boss.
Is there a way you can arrange that for us? Or at least me? Because I'd happily do so.
Yeah. Uh, See, she tips two glasses and she grabs a bottle and pours. She takes three glasses, pours, like a double shot in each of them, and then puts the bottle down and she drinks one, offers the other two to you and to you guys, and she goes, "I'll be right back." And unfortunately, the wife needs me to do something, so I will also be right back.
Sure.
guys here?
Yep.
Sorry about that. So a couple minutes later, River will come back. Well, when she comes back, she doesn't come behind the bar like she was before. She comes out to you guys on the other side of the bar. And she says, if you gentlemen wouldn't mind following me.
I'll go with her.
I will too.
So it's not the same. This door is kind of like an employee only door um, next to the bar. Uh, she goes through that. Um, it's a short hallway that turns right. Um, Several rooms off of it. Looks like uh, changing rooms, bathrooms, and at the end, uh, the door is labeled. Uh, it's just labeled Southern Comfort, and she goes up, knocks twice. You hear a feminine voice from inside say, "Come in." She will open the door and go in, let you guys in. Uh, the lady sitting behind a big desk. It's kind of like a half moon, so she has a lot of areas to work. She has two computers. Um, as you guys come in, there was on the left and right wall, you see like cameras everywhere. She hits buttons so they, close. Or actually, not cameras. They're TVs, screens of cameras, in various places in the club. Uh, she motions for you guys to sit, and she says, "Thank you, River."
I'll
And
take a seat.
River leaves and closes the door. Hello, gentlemen. My name is Brooke Joy. I run this establishment.
Uh,
I'm Osius Moores, but you may call me Anubis.
Xavier.
I am somewhat troubled by um, the reason behind your visit here. Are
I
you?
can tell you.
Sorry, you may go.
I can tell you what I think, and you can tell me how close I am. I think this
Very well.
is a nest of psychic vampires taking little bits of mental energy from the people who come as customers, trying to keep a low profile, trying to keep off everyone else's radar. And frankly, I don't have any problem with that.
If you would like to roll your version, are you trying to manipulate and subterfuge, or are you trying to presence and um, expression?
I am being I am being honest, so I guess it's presence expression.
Okay. I appreciate your I want to say candid, but that doesn't sound right. Um,
Forthrightness.
sure, I will go with that. I appreciate your forthrightness and your compassion for things that may or may not be going on here. She looks at your partner.
Look, I'll be blunt with you because that's all I've ever been. I'm a member of the Mysterium. We like, if you don't know what that is directly, we are seekers of knowledge in the arcane arts. And we also tend to guard secrets just as fiercely as we look for them. Now, we have been aware of this club for a good bit, but that has never been a problem. What is a problem, however, is an individual that your bartender has identified as Greg Davidson. He has racked up, at the very least that I know of, 60 bodies. And it is drawing far too much attention. To the point where we've seen hunters within the last couple of days. As a mage, I don't really have issues with hunters, except for a very specific group of knuckleheads. But I'd rather them not be in my city. Or at least the city I inhabit. Makes it hard to practice, if you know what I mean. And there could be a potential for cooperation in your operation, as I am a mortician by trade and a coroner.
I cannot. That is a tough apple to chew. Um, I appreciate you gentlemen coming to me. I would like to know more about mages. I would like to know more about hunters. I cannot say that my associates have recently killed anyone. There was issues in the beginning. You mentioned that Greg can drain the life force of people.
Much in the way that your associate Sapphire and your doorman could. Although they were more subtle about it, he's not as
Just like
sophisticated.
out of character, just want to get the timeline. The skeletons that you found in the dump, or that you received, uh, they were old, more than a month ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
So this guy's been a serial killer long before he became a psychic vampire.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
You could
Just wanted
almost
to get the
say
timeline.
becoming a psychic vampire made him better.
Collateral.
Yeah, exactly. From what I can glean based on what the police have given me to work with, this man has a body count, and then he became a vampire and continued to rack up a body count. Psychic vampire, sorry. So it would be in all parties' best interests if we could remove him, because I don't think the civilian police would be able to handle him if they catch him.
Do you have information that you could give us on mages and hunters and psychic vampires?
Mages, I can tell you very little. As I said, we like to guard our secrets. The best description I could tell you is a mage is an individual who can bend the laws of the world to their whim, but there can be consequences when you mess with things that have been hard coded, shall we say. Hunters are the enemy of all supernatural beings, be it vampire, werewolf, mages to a certain extent, ghosts. They basically hate anything that isn't human. And will, if they catch wind of said creatures, they will stop at nothing until they are either dead or their quarry is dead. Psychic vampires are similar to the vampires that you see on TV, except instead of extracting blood from their target, they extract like brain essence.
Is she at all surprised hearing him talking about vampires and werewolves?
Oh,
So
very much. Very
she's
much.
completely uninitiated in the world of darkness.
Correct. She thought she was different. She thought her girls were different. This is an eye-opening, like, oh fuck, emotion, situation.
And I'm gonna say Oz has probably caught on to this too, but Oz is just so blunt and wants to be done with this shit. This man had him working in his mortuary for like a week straight, trying to decipher the 50 fucking bodies.
I'll take out one of my business cards for the bookshop and hand it to her and say, if you want to learn a bit more about the world I know that we've been living in, uh, you can stop by my store. I'll show you where the good stuff is.
If I don't come by, one of my girls will. Thank you. She will take that card. And she will return it with one of her business cards. Then she will type up something in the computer. And she kind of like when you said the did you say which bouncer?
I didn't call him out. I said one of your bouncers. If she wants to know, I'm not gonna hide it from her though.
She will ask which bouncer.
Billy. And he's fairly good at it. Good at it.
And you see she like gets like a headache and she kind of like rubs her head a little. She's
As far as I can tell, you're running a ship-shaped shop. Like Xavier, I don't think you're going. I don't think the Mysterium is going to have an issue with you as long as you keep the death tolls to a minimum. The general best rule for supernaturals like us to follow is rock the boat, but not so hard that it draws attention. You kill, you you do your job. You make sure that everybody under you does their job. Don't draw the attention of hunters. I'll also lean over to uh, Xavier. When we were reading up on psychic vampires, did we see any mention of them being under the masquerade or subject to the masquerade?
I think they're considered aberrations among vampires. I don't think they're in the circle, you know?
Fair enough.
Correct me if I'm wrong in that interpretation.
you are
Grim.
correct. If you didn't quite say aberrations, but um they are a half splat out of the Mortals book. They're not even they are nowhere even mentioned in the vampire book.
Gotcha. So it could be said that they're closer to a mage than an actual vampire. The only thing that makes them a vampire is the fact that they feed.
And convert people.
Oh, okay, there's that too. A mage can't convert another mage. Well, you can. I don't think we would be standing here if I did so, though. There's huge repercussions for awakening sleepers.
Um, there is two different variations in the Mortal book. There is the psychic vampire that they they are a psychic vampire, and then there's a psychic vampire that's infectious.
So what you're saying is they're the world of darkness mind flare.
But they're nice looking vampire mind flayers.
Fair enough, yes.
And if you're note taking, her name is on the card. Her name is Brooke Joy. and she will hand you a another blank, like a just like a 3x5 card. Greg Davison, 999 South Street, Crows and Condo.
Excellent. Hopefully, we can track him down and end this quietly.
Yes, he was a thorn in our side, so. And if he is being that much of a thorn in everyone's side, we want no. Uh, we do not want that attention. I have been prior to you guys coming in here. I thought I had been leading a quiet life.
I will give you that you have done a fairly good job at hiding all this. I just cheat. I have ways to view how people die, and a few bodies have come across my table.
That is a neat trick.
As I said,
And here
if
I
you have
thought
it ever,
making men putty in my hands was a good trick.
if you have an issue where you need to dispose of a body, feel free to hit me up, and I'll slide my card as well. As a student of the ways of death, I have need for bodies if they ever come up, but I don't partake in the Frankensteinian method of, robbing a graveyard and such.
Wait, was he real too?
I don't know. I mean, we have books on him and his scientific formulas, but I don't know if it's just more hearsay or if any of his theorems actually worked. If he was a mage, he was certainly a death mage, though. Well, Xavier, it looks like we have a query.
Yeah, I think that's everything we need. Thank you for your help.
And if you get rid of that problem, thank you for your help. Are you gentlemen staying in the club for a while, or are you on your way out?
Unfortunately, this gentleman takes well, I shouldn't really call him a gentleman. This ne'er-do-well takes priority because if the longer he's left out there, the more havoc he's going to cause and the more attention he's going to draw. Two hunters isn't as big a deal as, say, an entire platoon of them.
We'll head out.
Yep.
Thank you, gentlemen. Enjoy your night. Uh, Under her voice, as you guys leave, she's just talking about supernatural and supernatural. Greg, super villain. Does that mean they're superheroes? And that's all she's contemplating as you guys leave.
I mean, the right mage with the right powers or right Arcanums? Yeah, you could have a superhero.
So you're 2 hours looking around. You're getting there. It'll be about midnight when you guys are leaving the club.
Well, given what we know about psychic vampires, um, I'm gonna say he's probably gonna be more than likely at home if that is his home right now. Because they walk around during the day, I don't see them having the same behavioral traits as their counterparts.
When you were, because you know the time of day and everything of the killings, it was all over the board. He did not have a specific killing hour. Even when he became a psychic vampire, it was still sporadic during the day. So
Got it.
there was no there was no schedule. There was nothing you could try and say. You know, he only kills between this and this hours. It, he kills between midnight to the midnight of the next day. It was just
Yikes. Well, we might as well at least scope out the place and see what we can determine.
If nothing else, we could stake the place out.
Well, then we'll hop in the van and I will use the GPS to lead me to where this person is.
as you roll up on this condo. Are you planning on parking up front?
Yes, let's park the very obvious mortician's van out front. No, I'll probably like park it around the back. Somewhere less conspicuous. As inconspicuous as a mortician's van can get.
go with wits and streetwise for parking inconspicuous. Bad, not bad.
Feeling confident in myself.
You happen to pull around, and there was a couple, looks like delivery trucks that were parked, delivery vans. So you just pull up between two other delivery vans, and boom, you're camouflaged.
Yes, I belong here.
Get your furniture, get your dead bodies, and get your computers moved.
Yeah, exactly.
How would you like to check this place out, or the area?
That's a great question. I guess I'm gonna just like try to listen in to radio frequencies and stuff. See if anything like pops out at me about a Greg Davidson sort of thing.
What was that? Wits computer.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And as Oz is tuning in, what is observing?
Uh, I'm just gonna walk down the street past his. It's a condo, so it's like an apartment. How secure is the front door? Is there like to be buzzed in or?
Yes, there is 4 units, 2 on the bottom floor and 2 on the top floor. Looks like a normal um, door going to the outside. This doesn't have like a gated door or something like that.
Can it be opened with a key?
Yes.
So I could potentially pick the lock. Is there a security camera?
Yes, there is um, one of those. Coming up to the front door, you would see like a little bit of an overhang, so whoever's walking up to the door doesn't get rained on. And you'd see the 4 buzzers to the left, and to the right up high, you would see like one of those uh, darkened domes. So you said that the camera is in there, and you don't know which way it's facing.
Uh,
As for like normal, it does look a little bit more high tech of a camera than the normal ones that you have been seeing around.
I'm just gonna walk around the building and see if there's another entrance. If I can.
So each condo looks like they have like one little like half balcony sort of thing. There is no uh, built-in fire escape ladders um, that you do see around the back. Uh, there is a rear entrance. Door seems to be similar to the one up front and has the same type of camera set up there, but there are no buzzers in the back door.
And I have no way of determining from outside which one is his unit. Oh, no, I wouldn't know the numbers from the buzzers outside.
I would give you this. That is his number 3.
Probably the second.
If you're looking at the front, it is like 1 o'clock in the morning, and for some odd known reason, there are lights on, and there are like every light on the left bottom apartment condo. On the right bottom, uh, there is like one light on. On the top left, there is no lights on. And the top right, there is one light on.
Okay. I'm going to use download knowledge to up my athletics.
Roger. Exceptional. Do you get anything on exceptional other than the 5 dice?
Yes, I get a specialization as well. So my athletics goes up to 5, and I'll take specialization in climbing. So I will attempt to,
Extra die.
and I will attempt to climb up to uh, the unit that where all the lights are out.
Okay. So, are you doing that from in the front or side or the behind?
This side doesn't have cameras that I can see.
No. And the cameras are like under under the enclosure, anyways. You know what I mean?
So it wouldn't do me. If I'm out of sight of the street, or at least mostly, I'll go up the side.
So, for checking to find the right place to burglarize a place would be a wits and larceny. See if you can locate the opportune place. And then roll your athletics. So you were doing it up on the side, you said?
Yeah.
So you climb up the left side. Easy enough. There are two windows to pick from. One which would be in the front of the apartments, and one would be in the back of the apartments.
Can I see which does either lead to a bedroom? 'Cause I want not that. No.
From down below, you wouldn't really know. You would guess there would most likely not be a window in the front window on the side.
All right, I'll try the front.
When you do get up there, even though it is the second story, it is locked. It's one of those ones like where you can leave the window open like 2 inches and it doesn't go up any higher. Just so you know.
Okay. Can I try to jimmy it at all? Try and get it to open more?
Um, would you want to be doing like a strength larceny to try and, or if you're thinking strength and athletics just to break it?
My boost to athletics on less for one roll, so I'll try the
I just
larceny.
didn't know how you were interpreting yourself doing it. You're trying to, quietly,
Yeah.
would more or less be the larceny, but the strength one would, you know, involve maybe some shattering.
The larceny dex to try and.
Yeah. And with the locks, again, it's going to require 2 successes. As you're messing around, you're starting to get. If you want to stay up here and roll again, you can.
No, I'm gonna climb down. I think if I couldn't get it open.
Or are you going to make it back to Oz, or were you going to try something else?
I'll head back to Oz. I think.
He did go AFK. I'm not sure.
Back.
Your second story man has just returned. And you didn't pick up any uh, chatter, and no one using Greg Davis, Greg in the name. cell phones, normal chat, but nothing. Nothing that came across odd or Ulfric.
What Xavier told me what he found so far.
Yeah.
I mean, if it can be turned by key, I can just let us in.
Yeah, I guess if you can get it open. I just didn't want to be seen picking the lock on camera.
Yep, that's fair. So I will go up to the door and I am casting a spell real quick. I will have to expend reach. Sorry, I had to go clear my active spells. I forgot I only have one left. Invisibility ran out a while ago. And so did the kinetic fist I was using. Okay, so I am gonna do this. I can quickly use. Well, since I don't have to do this like fast, I can use high speech and my skull. What I'm using is a rote. Or did it? Hang on. Yeah, it's a rote. I will use one reach to push duration. Well, if I'm only never mind, I'm not gonna do that because if I'm only opening one lock, I only need to last one turn, right? So then I guess the only thing I'm gonna push is that. I'm gonna push range to advance so that I can just do it at something I see rather than having to touch it. So that it just looks like I'm naturally just opening the door.
Yep.
And I will apply one extra reach for the actual reach effect of the spell. So 3 reach out of 5, no mana, and not generating any paradox, so I shall roll said spell.
One success.
Did it roll? I didn't see that roll, apparently. You said 1 success?
Yep.
Okay, so this is the spell remote control. Lets me do things to mechanical things. With the extra reach, I can actually perform complex things like opening a lock that's locked.
Roger.
So basically, I'll walk up, and as I'm walking up, I'm kind of just waving my hand a little bit to make the lock unlock, and then I'll just reach for the door and open it.
It unlocks and you open it.
I'll hold the door open after you, sir.
Thank you. And I'll walking, keeping my head down, so I'm not presenting a face to the camera.
That's probably smart.
So no staring in the camera for the count of three, right? 1, 2. All right, you guys are in. As you enter,
Right.
the light in the hallway comes on. It seems to be motion in a sense.
I assume we see apartment numbers on the doors here.
So in front of you, on your right would be 1. On your left would be 2. There is a set of stairs that go up. There is also a hallway which goes forward to some sort of like a center door, like a fire door. It doesn't seem to be any lock on that one. Um, and there is no door on the stairs.
Right. Sit upstairs.
Follow.
Immediately at the stairs, top right, there is 3, and on your left back a ways is 4. Actually, no, they're right across
So
from each
is
other. So 3 on your right and 4 on the left.
we came up the stairs. Is that? I believe number 3 is the one with no lights. Yeah.
Correct.
The one I couldn't get into. Right.
The door there has is your normal door lock and a deadbolt lock.
Do I see any cameras in the hallway?
No.
Right. Uh, I will use download knowledge to up my larceny.
You do hear coming from door number 4. You do hear TV. Holy exceptional, Batman.
So larceny is at 5, and I'll take a specialty in picking locks.
Oh, you don't get your dice. It just maxes it out to 5.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
I get the dice roll up to 5.
Gotcha.
Special.
I guess it does make sense because it normally caps at 5. But that's a shame to see that 8 being wasted.
Are you fucking kidding me? On 9 dice.
This condo is supernaturally protected. Doesn't want anyone coming in its windows or its doors. There does not seem to be any movement. If you do try try again, it will require 2 successes.
I download knowledge again? I'm not sure if there's a penalty for.
Every time you use it in a scene, every time you use it, I think you had a penalty. I think that's what you said last time. It was once.
Yes.
You can use it once at normal, and then every time after that, it's one penalty. And I've been saying that on the outside was a different scene because you went back to the van and shot the shit with
But it's a -1 penalty if I fail the download knowledge roll. There's no penalty. It doesn't look like there's any penalty on a success.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Now let's have download knowledge again. Okay.
Normal larceny. Or are you going to try the penalty and try and download again? This is an action to download, right?
Yes. Uh, I'll try a straight larceny roll. No. Alright. I'm out of ideas.
I got kicked out of the game, so I'm trying to load back in. Is this a similar lock to the front door type lock?
Yes, similar, but it also has a deadbolt.
Well, I can manipulate deadbolts too. It's any mechanical thing. Oh, gotcha. So I'll need more than one turn. Is basically what we're saying.
Do
Well,
you
while
want
I'm
me
waiting,
to shut down and restart? Because is it
yeah,
saying
it's not letting me in. Yeah, it says site can't be reached.
All right, attempting to restart. Wait, let me try this. If I reload application, that's just for me. That's not you guys, right?
Correct. That's just for you.
So that won't work. So I am returning to setup. Returning the game. Try to re-enter.
Okay. There we go. So used to being game master, I tried to plug in as game master.
Pay no attention to
exactly.
No getting the boot.
Sometimes I can't help it, man.
Sometimes the boot just finds me.
Right. All right. So remote control again. Again, I'm unlocking a door, so it's complex. Hey, I'm actually getting music now. Interesting. High speech and cool. It is a rote. Just pushing the duration to 2. Push the casting time. Push the range.
Door is supernaturally challenging.
So I'm noticing. All right, I might have something for this. Hold on. What kind of door is it? Like, does it look like it's wood? Like it's metal?
It's a normal like for up to code in like multi home thing, so it looks like a fireproof door. So it has at least metal on the outside.
Okay. I can only use this reliably once per session. Let me see. I'm gonna use a new embed that I got. Lucky Break. Uh, on a success, the demon causes a lucky break. This allows the demon to bypass an obstacle or gain a piece of information by pure luck. The demon has no control over what the lucky break actually is, only in the end result for her. As such, the demon might want to gain confidential information from a target's computer, find that the target car skids off the road, crashes into a ditch right in front of the demon. They can now lift the computer if she moves quickly, but she's caused some collateral damage. Uh, as the demon, as that demon creates packs, demons that create packs know you can bargain with demons or fate to become rich, but the money has to come from somewhere. This embed is extremely open-ended and versatile. The storyteller should be careful that players don't overuse it. If that happens, start going for rolls to avoid room cover. Probably manipulation. This is sort of God Machine and its agents notice. So I'm going to attempt a lucky break.
What is your lucky? What obstacle are you trying to, or what information are you trying to gain?
I'm trying to get through the store, so I'm hoping I will, find a key, like in the door frame. Sometimes hide a key there or under a mat or something like that. But something that'll get me to the store. If I roll a success, oh,
Oh, it actually has a dice
one,
pool too, huh?
yep.
Better your way than mine.
All right. So as you um, try your other things and fail, and Oz tries his thing and fails, and then you patch into your lucky break. Can you guys both roll perception? Oz, you're pretty much just getting the TV behind you. You can't hear anything else. Xavier, I guess you would both see from underneath the door a light come on, and you hear someone rushing around inside. And uh, you hear what would appear, Xavier, you hear the front door open and slam, and someone run down the stairs.
Wait, someone ran past us?
Uh, there, uh, there might be a second, like this might be the back door to their condo. Like there's probably two doors on this side. So there's a
Uh,
hallway in front of you with a firewall door, and you heard someone in the apartment hurry up and go out the other door and shut the door, and you heard him go down the stairs.
I'll take off after.
They were just good at physical confrontations. I will enter the apartment to see if I can learn more about the individual.
Xavier, you were running out through the fire thing and down the front door and out.
Yeah.
As you come down the door and you open the front door, you can see like pretty much they're like a bit ahead of you. There looks like they're getting onto the street right now. They're gonna turn right. Uh, this is someone all dressed in black with a hat on and black gloves. As you notice that you're there and Oz did not follow. Are you going to continue?
Yes. I continue after him.
So he takes a right onto the street and is running. Makes it to the corner streets and keeps going. And you are still following.
I'm going to shout out. Uh, that's right. You better run. And I'm going to use Devil's Advocate, which is my other new embed. Uh, it basically compels the person to disagree with me.
Okay.
On success, the target disagrees with the most recently stated position, even if it would otherwise be a position he would normally accept. From the target's perspective, he might merely be arguing the other side or playing devil's advocate, but in the moment, he truly feels that it is his duty to voice disagreement or otherwise display it.
And there's no roll versus this.
Oh, I think there is manipulation plus subterfuge minus the highest resolve. So what's his resolve?
2.
Alright. I will re-roll with the -2. Or do you just want to knock out the left piece of my previous roll? and I will keep following him.
So we will cut over to Oz. What were you doing?
I'm just searching the apartment to see what I can learn about this individual.
Do you go through the fire door and go to the other door? Because the door you're currently at is still locked.
We about to change that. I'll be less petty though. I'm just gonna cast remote control again. It's D10, right?
Yes.
It's being strange right now. It doesn't want to roll my thing.
You got 3 successes.
Oh, yeah, it did. Not on my end, it didn't. But okay. Then I have that for 2 turns. I'll basically use 1 turn to unlock the lock, and the second turn to throw the deadbolt.
Technically, you got 2 successes, and then you got 3 successes, and then you got 3 successes.
It doesn't matter. 1 success is enough. That was for 2 turns as a cast.
Right. So you were.
So I guess I'm gonna just look around the apartment and see what I can find. Anything that would give me a clue, like where this guy might be wanting to go, or I mean, I know we just interrupted him, but the more information I have about this guy, the better.
So that would be intelligence investigation.
You got 0 successes.
Um, as you are going around this condo, there is no clues to his current anything that he's currently up to.
I guess I have wasted my time. Oz will then slowly proceed back out the door.
Are you trying to be stealthy or anything, Xavier?
I already shouted at him. He's gonna know there's someone following him. Actually, I will let him pull out of sight range, but I'm going to use a partial transformation, defending one ether, and I will activate my clairvoyant sight plasma drive. Clairvoyant sight lets me look at them even far away.
Okay.
Plasma dive does not directly increase my movement speed, but I can spend an ether to move and take an action on one turn. In one turn.
Doesn't this make you blind though?
While it's toggled on, I just want to have it ready to activate. See where he's going. Basically, I'm going to let him round a corner, activate clairvoyant sight to see where he goes, and then once he's rounded the next corner, I'll go around until he thinks that he's lost, and then I'm going to approach and stealth, tail him.
So as you slow down and you're watching him, he goes like 3 blocks straight before he takes a corner.
Okay, I'll continue to the corner, and then I'll use clairvoyant sight. Monitor him.
With your clairvoyance, he goes another 2 blocks, uh, and then takes a left.
All right. Is he still running flat out?
Yes.
All right, then I will hurry after him using my plasma drive. If I can take another if I can move and take another action, then I can move twice, right? So effectively double my speed.
Yep.
All right, then I'll use that to get to where, turn the corner, and then I'll use clairvoyant sight again.
By the time this rolls on, Oz, you have turned the place upside down. Couldn't find anything for where he is currently going, and you come out. What are you going to do?
I guess kind of just wait, like leaned up against the van. Since I don't actually have an idea where they went at this point.
Okay. When you get to that next corner, Xavier, and you put clairvoyance on, I see he's still running, uh, and then he slows down, and you see it's like because you can't hear, right? You can just see.
I believe so. It says I can look on a person or location. So I guess, yeah, it's just sight.
So you see he slows down, and he's still walking at a harried pace, and it looks like he gets to like a small crowd, and he kind of like makes his way through, and you see there seems to be a couple cops there, holding people, trying to hold people back. It looks like he is back and forth, and then the cop lets him through, uh, and there is a looks like a detective because they're not in a uniform; they're more in a suit. Kind of stops him. He talks to him, uh, and then he brings him over to uh, this like blanket that's kind of like covering a body that is on the ground. You can see some blood, coming out from it, and then they see the detective like leans down with gloves and moves like the thing, and it looks like he's identifying someone.
Okay. I will follow after him. I'll approach the crime scene at a normal pace.
Uh, yeah, there's a crowd of like 15 people. Uh, you see the blue lights and ambulance lights, red lights, white lights. Uh, there looks to be two street cops, you know, trying to keep people back from, getting into the scene. You can see it looks like your description of Greg up there talking to one of the detectives.
I will approach one of the officers and say, "Wow, this ambulance looks serious. You definitely shouldn't tell me anything about what's going on here, and I will use devil's advocate to make him disagree.
With dropping his resolve, but you still
Oh,
have second dice as a new success. So he says there's not much to say. She was taking her dog outside, and all of a sudden she just collapsed. Her neighbors called when they heard the dog barking.
oh it's a shame. That her husband there, or I'm assuming he's still standing over the body.
To the side. No, I think it's her brother.
Uh, I guess I'll just stay here, uh, observing. Actually, I'll text Oz and tell him I found the guy at apparently his sister collapsed, and I'll give him my location so he knows where we are.
Oz will get in his van and roll that way, but real slow like.
That's fair. How when, how slow?
I mean, I'll be there like if it's not far, like 20 minutes.
So you're just taking your foot off the brake and letting it roll.
Kinda, yeah.
So it was like 6 blocks that we ran.
He's got to make a detour at the donut shop. I'd say within 10 minutes, uh, the body's on a stretcher. They put her. The ambulance shuts the lights off. They put her in the ambulance, and he gets in.
Do I see what hospital the ambulance came from? Okay, when Oz shows up, I'll tell him to take us there.
Okay, I'll do so.
But time passes. Make it over to Black Thorn General Hospital. Uh, Oz. Odd or even, roll a d100. With your degree in the morgue, um, they're probably not taking her to a hospital.
Okay, what's the closest morgue? Is it mine?
No, it's not yours. It's the other guy that got the other 9 bodies.
Then I will kind of change direction and go that way instead.
I forgot to make a compromise roll when I made the partial transformation.
Okay. guys roll up on this, the you'll see the Blackthorn ambulance leaving.
Could we tell if the brother was still with the van, or if he's?
I
We
can
look.
clairvoyance him and find out his location. I haven't shut it off yet.
Yeah. Well then.
He is in the
So I think I'm going to try to sneak up to the morgue and see if I can get a glimpse of Mr. Davidson.
At the time when Oz looked in on him, it looked like him and Mortician, they were in the area where India looked at the bodies at this current time. So he is not near windows.
I'm gonna use my tune-in ability. That's still active. I want to see if I can sense security cameras and such.
You would get one wireless camera that is facing the front of the morgue.
All right, then I'm just gonna do this the slightly less fun way. I'm gonna cast a spell. Forces 2. You want to be invisible, Xavier?
Yeah, sure. If you can make us both invisible and unheard, you could put your hand on my shoulder. We can walk in together, and if this is the guy, just squeeze my shoulder twice, and I'll put a bullet in his head.
Roger, that's exactly. I think we're on the same wavelength here. All right, I am doing exactly that. I'm going to combine cast invisibility with control sound. I'm not occurring any paradox. I am casting it on 2 subjects, so that reduces that dice. All right, no paradox, but burns 1 mana. And again, I can't for some reason see my roll, so you'll have to tell me if I've succeeded or not.
One success.
All right, so basically, I turn us both invisible for an hour, and we make no sound. Doing as Xavier instructed, assuming the front door isn't locked.
It is not locked.
Go through the front door, see if we can get into the mortician's area.
I would say by the time you get in, it sounds like they are in the office doing paperwork.
Is the door open or closed?
It's ajar. It is not closed.
Then I will cautiously peek in to see if this is the individual I've seen in my visions.
Yes.
I will squeeze Xavier's shoulder twice.
I'll pull out my pistol, and I'll step in enough that I can guarantee a hit, like almost point blank, and shoot him in the back of the head. I don't think this. I don't know how you're gonna roll this.
Target a specific part is -3. Whereas MOBA's defense doesn't apply. Defense doesn't apply to ranged weapon. I mean to firearms. So, that means you have time. I'm assuming you're going to spend the maximum amount of time aiming at this dude's head to give you a +3 to counteract the -3.
Okay.
There is no defense with firearms, so there's that. Um, I'm gonna say you don't have to worry about the -2 for shooting into close range because it's not yet combat. Um, so what is your firearms and dexterity?
Altogether, it's 6 dice.
I'm assuming you're wanting to spend willpower, and are you going to download knowledge?
Uh, I already have this. Well, yeah, I might as well download knowledge.
Because you're at 3. So you get an extra 1.
And I have a specialty with pistols.
Okay.
So that's another. So
+2
no.
plus willpower is +3, so +5. A lot of high numbers there. Right. I'll say you fire your pistol. Bull goes in one side of his head, and brains spatter out the other side of his head, and he slumps in the chair in prone position.
I will leave.
Me too.
All right. Turn around the way you came.
once the magic wears off. I think that's the job well done for tonight.
Yeah.
If you can drop me off at the shop.
Yep, I can do that. And I'll get to work writing the report for Henry. So I'll drop Xavier off out of the shop, then I'll head back to my mortuary where I'm gonna go write up a report.
Gotcha.
And basically, I'm going to include in my report that I realized that you didn't ask us to kill him, but based upon information that we found, this guy was a serial killer before he became a psychic vampire, and I figured avoiding attracting attention from the hunters was more important than just simply observing uh, the creature, I guess what I would call him. And I obviously signed, sealed, put it in my mailbox.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna go down to my tree and do some obluation.
Your own mana.
Yeah, I'm not actually, compared to my maximum, I'm low, but I'm not like low that I couldn't cast a few spells, but I kind of need my magic. Especially with the new ability I picked up, it costs mana always. So, and it only lasts for a single scene. So it's kind of expensive. It's worth it, but it's expensive. Obligation was what again? Gnosis plus composure. That is what I've been trying to find. How many successes did I get?
1.
Of course. Puts me up to 4 mana. After that, I'll probably go back up and see if any work has come in for me or if I have mail or anything like that.
You actually have no work.
What sorcery is this? I guess I'll spend time back down. I'll tell my assistants if they need anything, just come knock on the door to the basement, and then I'll go down. And I guess I'm gonna kind of like try different fertilizers, try different waters. You know, see if I can somehow improve the Hallow, because I don't really know how it formed. I just know it formed. So now I'm trying to figure out if I can improve it somehow.
Gotcha. As in through XP or as in through Prime Magic?
It's gonna. I think the only way I can improve it is XP. I mean, obviously, as DM, you can probably do something to change that, but the only thing I can do personally is dump into resources. But it's a little longer term project because I think Hallows can't be. I think your Hallow resource cannot exceed another resource. So like the Hallow can only be as powerful as the Sanctum or something like that. I need to look it up again, but so yes,
So
this is
you
me
have the
just
double dip.
signifying that I'm
You're
yeah.
working on that. Gotcha.
Which this is my since I get 2 obsessions now at my rank. This is my new obsession. Is basically I'm still seeking immortality, but now I'm also seeking a way to improve my Hallow. And what my midterm aspiration is figuring out a way to more efficiently obeliate, which I think requires prime.
Correct.
So it's either that or get my dice pool bigger. So improve composure, things like that.
As we cut over to Oz, you were just doing bookstore things, or was there anything else you had on your mind?
Yeah, I'd just be running the shop.
Pretty much is a normal day at the shop for you, except for about about noon. Uh, Sarah and River come in, looking for you and looking to buy a lot of books.
I'd show them where the actual cult books are, because there's like a mix of nonsense and real on the shelves.
Yeah, and they're looking for the real. And they go in and they buy like 10 different books. They go, thank you for all the information that you gave Brooke. Need to, apparently we need to understand some things.
It's not a problem, and you can let her know that the matter we came to see her about has been resolved.
Oh, good. As long as they've been resolved. Thank you.
By the way, Oz, did you tell Henry about the vampire club, psychic vampire club?
I told him about that a long time ago. The
Okay.
first time we ran into it. So I didn't give him like a ton of information. I just told him that there's more than likely a nest at the Southern Comfort. So I haven't revealed any more than that at this point.
Okay.
And right now, Oz does not feel the need to. Because they are not a threat. Well, they're not a threat to us. They're a threat, just not to us.
in your report to Henry, uh, how did you tell him, you know, all the detail on the execution?
Um, yeah, probably in these sort of situations, it's best for all the info to be uh, available.
Okay. So pretty much your days go unimpeded for the rest of Tuesday.
Okay.
Oh, I did have a phone number for the hunter when the woman called her contact. I'm going to try to look up if anything I can find about that number.
When did you get the phone number?
When I left the we know message, she called whoever her boss was.
Yes, you got that for that number. Gotcha. How did you want to look that up?
Uh, you should be able to just Google it. It's a publicly available number. It should come up.
Yeah, so that was when you look it up, that number belongs to Helix Pyrodynamics. That was the Worms Crossing, South Dakota, 191 South Cinder Road.
uh, I don't think I can do much more than that, or unless I just wanted to call it. I don't see any benefit to that.
So all set for going to the next day then?
Yeah.
sir.
Around 8 in the morning on Wednesday, you would have a letter in your pocket.
I will answer the letter.
On the outside
Or,
of the
sorry, I'll
letter,
read it.
it says caution.
I'll go into my private office to read the letter.
Due to the incident on Monday night, we sent agents to make sure we didn't have to clean anything up with possible sleepers. The Ashen Rest crematorium was completely gutted. There was no record of anyone being there. There's no security cameras. There was nothing.
Oof.
It's
I don't like this.
this says then, tread lightly, Henry.
I will pull out my phone and make a phone call to Xavier and fill him in what I just learned.
That wasn't us.
No,
Okay.
we. So did we accidentally stumble upon a front? That the moment we killed the guy, we realized, or they realized that they were in danger and they just bailed? Or did the hunters that have been in town find something and decide to destroy the place just in case?
Let me go online, see if I can find any irregularities around this Ash. What was it? Ash home? Ash. The mortuary.
I think it was Ash Home Mortuary.
Ashen Rest crematorium.
So I roll computer intelligence, so computer wits.
Sure.
I'm not seeing my roll now.
2. This is an odd way of not being connected, because like you're connected enough to send it through, but not connected enough to receive it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see when I type?
Yes.
Nope. Yes. Sorry, it was like delayed.
My computer's haunted.
I wouldn't doubt it at this point.
Once it kicks you out, doesn't let you see your rolls. So you're just looking online to see if there's any information about the Ashen Rest Crematorium, or if there's.
Did it open 6 months ago? Did it seriously get bought out suddenly? Anything
I get
that
you.
seems irregular?
A day is
No.
rather quick to just tear down a business.
Uh, it's it's been around. Oz would know. It's been around. Um, the new owners uh, bought it for bought it about 5 years ago. Um, but the previous owners had it for like 20 years, and then there was previous owners before that.
Is it privately owned or is it company that bought it?
It The first one was privately owned. The second one was a company, and then the current owner is private.
That's interesting. I'll tell
Assuming
Oz.
we're still on the phone, and he's kind of like telling me these things. I'd ask him, is there any articles about what happened like within the last day or so?
I'll switch.
Like mysterious gas leak. I mean, like I said, a day is rather fast to dismantle an entire business.
Nope. It still says it's open. You know, when you look up everything, it's still open for business. Nothing about a gas leak.
Definitely seems strange to me that it changed from from a corporation to a private ownership. I can understand if it went to another company, but
Yeah, that is rather odd. Mine has just always been inherited by my son.
Ah.
uh, should we go down there and see? I can try to figure out what happened.
Yes, I agree, but let's just make sure we approach with an abundance of caution.
All right. We probably shouldn't take your marked van then.
Agreed. We should take like a taxi or something.
Yeah.
Well, seeing how you are approaching with caution and you're going to this other place, I think this is a good time to call it night. A lot of things happened tonight that I did not expect. And doors were met.
Yeah, the most
Thanks for
OP
watching, everyone.
door in
Ashen
history.
Creation streams Monday, Tuesday,
Resisted like
Wednesday. Monday,
5
Wednesday is D&D.
times.
The end of the month, Wednesday is World of Darkness. Oh yeah, it was. I mean, it was definitely supernaturally locked.